Iman Gadzhi is one of the most popular finance influencers on YouTube right now. He has earned over 220,000 subscribers in the last 30 days. Now, for a channel that only hit 1 million subscribers on the 11th of November 2022, you can see that this guy is blowing up. Millions and millions of clicks every single day pointed towards this guy. What makes him so special? Why has he got so much money? And what secrets can we learn from Iman's journey? So Iman is one of those YouTubers that have actually documented everything on their YouTube channel from the very early days. He's been uploading since 2015 all the way to now 2023, and he's actually documented from brokes to riches, because Iman hasn't always been rich. He didn't come from wealth. He actually came from very, very poor beginnings. You know, so if you're interested in becoming a millionaire yourself, this is the video for you. You know, because if Iman can do it from poverty and become a multi-millionaire, so can you. Just watch his journey and hopefully we can learn some valuable lessons that can also make us some money. So yeah, make sure to subscribe because I make videos like this all the time. So Iman Gadzhi grew up with a single mother. He has no idea who his dad is. He's also said on record that he has no interest in ever finding out who he is.
A natural dad. He's still alive somewhere, I assume. Yeah. Do you know him?
Not personally, no. He was alcoholic abusive. So my mom left him when she was pregnant.
His mother had to work 2 different jobs just to keep them afloat, and that's when Iman decided something needs to change. But you know, how could he do that at such a young age? He was a loner at school, he didn't have any friends, and he had no idea how he was going to make money, but he knew that it's something that he had to do. So instead of talking with friends on breaks and doing fun activities after school, he actually read books.
A Sunday ritual of mine, no matter what's happening in my life, is an hour at the bookstore. I pick up three or four books, and I just read those for an hour, just skim read them, fill my head with just awesome ideas.
He's on record for saying reading books is like digging for gold. He actually read 52 books in a year, so that's a book every single week. So these books could have been anything from how to make money or how other successful people made their money. Just like this video here, you're watching this video to learn how he made his money. Well, back then, he had to learn how other people did it through books. Through his reading, he also learned how important the mindset is and discipline is when creating your own business. He learned how to meditate, how important it is to have a winning mindset and, you know, believe in yourself that you can do it, because if you don't believe in yourself, how is anyone else going to believe in you?
Like, I used to spend my lunches either eating alone, reading a book, or I used to, and my best friend who went to school with me, he tells everyone this story. Because sometimes like people will meet my friends and they're like, was he actually like this? And my best friend will be like, dude, he literally used to sit in the bathroom stalls meditating.
So some of the first things that he did, utilizing his passion for fitness, he trained some of his friends' parents and put together a few £100, which then he then used to invest in his first ever camera that would be used to create his first YouTube channel, where he would start sharing content. You know, this content would stuff like fitness and stuff, but then it would eventually evolve into his business adventures. Okay, so in 2016 he came up with his agency. So what he did is he made a social media marketing agency. Now, for those of you that don't know, a marketing agency is someone who runs the social media for a company. So what Iman used to do is he used to post 7 different Facebook posts and 7 different Instagram posts for this company every single week, and he was working for barely minimum wage. But you know, this just gave him the taste of what life could be like. You know, if he could sign this one client, he could sign another client. Now you might be wondering, how does Iman know how to grow Instagram pages, how to grow on socials and stuff? Well, back in the day, he used to flip Instagram pages. So what that means is he basically used to build a page up and then sell it for a profit. So by doing that, he gained the skills and knowledge to, you know, do this for other companies. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, I actually do Instagram pages myself. You know, I've made a video on my channel, which you can go watch, which will give you all the basics on how to start growing your own Instagram pages and how to sell them and how you can effectively make a lot of money off Instagram. You know, I have over 500,000 followers over my pages on Instagram, so I know what I'm talking about. So that link will be down in the description. So Iman's goal for 2016 was to make £15,000 in the year, and he didn't care how he made it, he didn't care where he made it, he just knew that he had to make that by the end of 2016. So how much did Iman charge when he was first starting out? He actually charged $110 a week, which yeah, is very below minimum wage. You know, for 7 Instagram posts and 7 Facebook posts, it's not too bad. You know, he could have probably done that in a couple of hours. So that's $404 a month. So it didn't take him long after signing his first client to sign another, and what he did was he put up his prices for his next client, and then he put up his prices again for the next client. So he ended up earning around £4,000 a month. So instead of coaching individual clients and stuff, what Iman decided to do was create his own course called 6-Figure SMMA. So he'd basically release loads of different resources on how you can build up your own clients and basically do it yourself, and how to make your own SMMA. So just like IAG Media, this business became a multi-million success as well. Anything this guy touches basically turns to gold. In 2017, Iman has put this on record as being the most life-changing year of his life. So Iman's mindset at this point was already on another level. I mean, just take a look at this.
I'd rather be alone with my own thoughts than with people who are negative, berate what I'm trying to do in my life, because at the end of the day, those people are just scared that you're going to rise up and find no use from them anymore. Don't get angry at people when they throw negativity, throw hate your way, because at the end of the day, they're just scared that you're going to develop so much that you find no use for them anymore. I've seen that time and time again in my life.
So in this year, his mindset was go to the gym, work out, eat healthy, and sit at his desk for 10:30 a.m. every single morning ready to work. So one of the things that separates Iman from, from normal people is that he was always a loner. He had no time for friends, he had no time for going out partying and stuff. He lived and breathed his social media marketing agency at this time, and that is what made it so successful, in my opinion. So Iman started to gain a little bit of success. Back in 2016, he promised his mother that he would take her to Paris as more of like an affirmation, as a this is going to happen, not knowing when it was going to happen. But the very next year in 2017, he did make good on his promise, and he took her to Paris, which is one of the biggest life goals, I think, for anyone aspiring to be, entrepreneur.
But let me take you back exactly a year ago. I was actually sitting in the room right behind me with my mom, and I made her the promise that I would take her to Paris. Now, I had absolutely no idea how the fuck I was gonna do that. A year ago, I was dead broke. As a person, I was valuable, and I knew that, but I didn't know how to make money. I didn't know how to monetize anything, so I had not a penny to my name. So when I made this promise to her, it wasn't so much a promise, it was more an aspiration or a dream.
Being able to give back to your family, and especially your mother, especially in Iman's case, it was just him and his mother in poverty. Being able to take her to Paris would have been a massive step for him, and this definitely probably fueled the fire in thinking, this is the life that I want. So this year on average, he was making 25k a month with his agency. He was building up his clients, but in his own words, he was doing everything wrong. Things weren't as optimized as he would have liked them to be, and he was still learning as he was building. So this is one of those examples where you just need to get into it, and even if you're bad, you could still be earning a hell of a lot of money while you're learning. Stuff that he was doing wrong was probably doing everything himself, not having a specific niche, not billing clients properly, just loads of things that weren't running as smoothly, which probably impacted the profits a lot. But the thing is, Iman was actually still happy. He was making 25k a month, which for him was crazy. So he ended up buying his own first house. I think Iman's definitely one of these people that see the glass as half full, not half empty. His mindset is probably what kept him going throughout all of this. So at the age of 18, he bought his first watch, the Rolex 40mm date just, which I think is around $50,000. This was a huge milestone for him, because everyone wants a Rolex. I feel like once you earn a Rolex, you've made it.
Confirm that's the Rolex 41mm, the date just.
Steel and yellow gold.
Steel and yellow.
Bezel on a Jubilee bracelet. We can do that for you if that's what you want.
Great, and that's the black set with diamonds, right?
Yes, black gold with diamonds, sir.
Perfect. Yeah.
So in 2018, what he learned from 2017 is that he needed to outsource his work. He can't be doing all this by himself. It's a lot of pressure. Plus, you're not going to be good at everything, and it's better to have specialized people on your team that can help the overall business. So in this year, he made over 50k a month with his agency. His agency was booming at this point. And it just goes to show you that a social media marketing agency is very profitable, and it is still definitely very profitable in 2023. I think this year's the year that he decided, to up his prices and finally found his worth. And when you can charge someone so much money, you have to focus on getting like 100 clients like he was in the early stages. He could focus on getting 10 good clients that were paying a large sum of money, which would support him even more than having the 100 clients. There's a good saying, and it's the 80-20 rule, which basically means that 80% of all the outcomes or outputs results in about 20% of the work. So basically 20% of your tasks will result in 80% of your business. So what Iman decided on is he'd focus on that 20% of those big businesses and charging more rather than having loads of clients. So then he'd still get 80% of the results for 20% of his actions. So at this point in his journey, he was signing 5-figure month deals with clients. You know, he started spending a decent amount of his money buying all the luxurious stuff that you can think of. So at this point in 2020, goal for the year was client retention. So his goal this year was basically satisfying his customers, which would hopefully keep the relationships for longer, meaning that gain more money out of the clients.
You actually keep them for substantially longer. And I basically realized, like, hey, in 2020, I should focus instead on what is the lifetime value of this client to me, you know, rather than just what's the monthly value, because it's much better to have a client that pays $2,500 a month and you keep them for 10 months rather than a client that pays $5,000 a month and you only keep them for 3 months.
So at this point, you must be thinking social media marketing agency looks easy. Like at this point, he's signing 5-figure deals. But it just goes to show that consistency over the years from 2016 to 2020 just shows how learning new strategies, working on improving, setting your goals every year, these are all things that Iman did. It just shows how you can improve on a certain thing that you're working on and eventually get to the point where you are signing 5-figure deals. At the end of 2020, he ended up having over $1.5 million in his agency bank account. So he did actually invest most of this in crypto, about 70 to 80%. So this was because these assets interested him. You know, he invested in watches as well. And you know, a lot of cryptos do really well. You know, I'm definitely not telling you to put all your money in crypto. For Iman, it did work out, because you've got to remember in 2020, there was the whole COVID epidemic and stocks and crypto fell. So anything you invested between 2020 and 2021 has gone up exponentially since then. But in about May of 2021, he actually got his crypto portfolio up to $7 million, which is just absurd.
You are about to find out what a $7 million cryptocurrency portfolio looks like.
But you know, not everything was all sunshine and rainbows for Iman at this point. He started having suicidal thoughts and having really bad depression.
And it got to a point where after that crisscross applesauce event, you know, kind of just things deteriorated for 2 to 3 weeks, to the point where, I mean, I was in the midst of a full-blown mental breakdown. And I remember from the moment in which I woke up, it was crazy, the craziest experience I've ever had. From the moment I woke up to probably 4 or 5 p.m., the only way I can describe it is almost like being possessed by some demon. Or that something else was, like some other life force was inside of me, or just like, or almost like, I guess what it feels like to be bipolar, where it's like, it's 2 different people. From 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., the only thing was on my mind for a solid like 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks, was how I was going to kill myself. And by the time that 4 or 5 p.m. rolled around, I was totally fine. I was happy. I was smiling. And but on another note, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., I probably would cry 4 or 5 times. And, you know, I'm smiling now because it's just like, it's so wild to think about it. But it was such a painful, such a painful, period of my life.
Which just goes to show you that at the end of the day, depression and anxiety is such a big issue. And even with millions and millions of dollars, you know, you're still going to have these thoughts, and it's important to, you know, read up on how you can best work on these issues and, you know, try and make yourself feel better. This is also the year that he moved to Dubai. So in Dubai, you get 0% corporate tax, 0% personal income tax, and 0% capital gains tax, which is a big reason why Iman decided to move out there. This definitely helped him increase his profits. In January 2022, he wanted to reach 5,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. That was one of his goals for the year. It was currently on like 184,000 subscribers, so it was a bit ambitious. So what he did to do this is he hired a YouTube SEO specialist to make his YouTube titles rank higher in searches, make his videos more optimized, and it basically increased his content, because up until this point he was making videos more of like just talking to the camera. There was no flashy editing, there was no retention going on. People were clicking and they were just clicking off. So he just basically improved his content to the point where engaging and more entertainment than his other videos. In almost all of his videos, he references how much money he makes, and credibility is very important to Iman. So I think this is important because he knows he's the real deal, and he needs to make other people realize he's the real deal as well. So what he's doing is he's just building up his credibility, rapport with, you know, the audience, his subscribers, so they know he's the real deal. Similar to what Andrew Tate does on the start of his podcasts. You've got to remember, with his YouTube channel, he's basically advertising to the masses about his SMMA, about his education stuff and all his courses and stuff, which will be earning him, you know, thousands and thousands of pounds. So what he did to, you know, expand this YouTube business is he actually made 22 different channels across Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and just basically these short podcasty style stuff, basically increasing his brand awareness, which made more people know about him, which is also the reason why he's gone from, you know, 184k at the start of 2021 to 2.4 million subscribers now. At the end of the day, Iman has helped thousands and thousands of young men believe in themselves and, you know, get motivation to start their own businesses. And he gives back to his fans constantly, you know, buying them luxurious stuff. He's constantly giving back to his community. Overall, I think he's a very good guy, and I think we can learn a lot from him just through this video alone. Hopefully you've taken something away that you can apply to your own life, hopefully to your own business. Hopefully you can earn some money with this. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.